Audio's all synced up. Welcome everybody. Welcome to my channel. My name is Arnold. If you're stopping by for the first time, thanks for stopping. If you're coming back again, thank you very much for coming back. Today we're going to be talking about gaming headsets, specifically Razer's gaming headset. Now, not many of you would know that Razer actually came out with a headset that has haptics in them. It's called the Razer Nari Ultimate Wireless Headset. It's pretty much a premium headset in the gaming market. Now, what's so special about this headset that I decided to make this video to talk to you about it? Let me explain. I've been using this headset for about 11 months and this is my full comprehensive review of it after all this time. This is my Razer Nari Ultimate Wireless Gaming Headset review. What a mouthful. Hey, first and foremost, let's start off with what you get in the box. The box is very simple and clean. You get all the information on the box about the headset and the headset diagram itself. In the box, you get the headset itself. You get a 3.5mm analog cable, male to male, a braided micro USB cable, some paperwork, and some Razer stickers. Now, I'm just going to start with all the negative things about this headset before we can go ahead and concentrate on the good things. In order to use this headset wirelessly, you have to be able to pair it up with its own 2.4 GHz transmitter that's located in the right ear cup. As I pull this out, this small little USB dongle, you need to be able to plug this into devices which is able to use this 2.4 GHz dongle. This works on a PC fine, works on a PS4 fine, doesn't work on a Mac, doesn't work on an Xbox. There have been a lot of complaints about this not being able to be used on the Xbox, and when I had a look at their website, it clearly states that the Xbox needs to be used with the 3.5mm analog cable, while the dongle only works on the PC and the PS4. And another caveat with that, the PS4 only supports stereo audio, no THX mapping with the wireless dongle. For the past 11 months, I've been using the Razer Synapse 3 on my Windows computer. Now, I can't game on my Windows PC because it's an old 7-year-old machine that's falling apart. It's the Asus G55VW, and you can only configure this headset through the Razer Synapse 3 software. Razer Synapse 3 has been in beta for the past 11 months. It only works on a PC. There is no support on a Mac. For people like me who own Mac but game on consoles, we've got no choice. If I didn't have my Windows PC, I would have just bought this headset out of the box with the Chroma lighting on green static, haptics on, no other configuration available to this headset. If you want to use this on a MacBook, you got to use the analog cable. And now to my final gripe. Razer is going to screw you over. This part is to do with the volume control knob on the right ear cup. This volume control knob is a cheap control knob. It's a dimmer switch kind of design, and it's so cheap that whenever you adjust the volume, there's a hiss that accompanies the adjustment, and also the audio shifts. Instead of it being neutral at 100%, as you reduce the volume, it shifts left, right, back to center about 50% or so, and then it shifts again. It continuously shifts back to 0 and from 0 to 100. It's just disorienting and it's annoying when you've spent so much money on this headset. Now, how much money am I talking about? Listed price is $199 USD. That's easily 800 to 900 ringgit depending on the offer that you can get from Lazada and Shopee. I've not found this in Laoyat nor any other gaming shops for that matter, but you could order it through Lazada. I'll leave some links down below. So for that price, imagine having a volume control knob that hisses every time you change the volume, and also an audio that just shifts as it likes. Razer tells you to keep your device volume at maximum and then you adjust the volume of your headset through this control knob, but I would tell you otherwise. Leave this on 100%, adjust the volume to your desire on your device because it's just stupid. Finally, it comes down to the microphone that's in the left ear cup. It's a simple design. You pull it in and out. You've got some amount of enhancements in the Razer Synapse 3 software. You can adjust the voice clarity, the noise cancelling and so forth, but apparently the voice quality is not good. I have not personally tested it because I've been using this exclusively on the PS4 and I have no chance of recording this. I do not have any multiplayer games, although I mean I do have multiplayer games, but I do not play it online, so I can't really attest to the sound quality of this. This is something that you just need to buy and experience. I'm sorry I can't give you a comprehensive review, but there have been a lot of comments that the audio is just not up to par, and you probably can believe it because you know it's Razer. Now, with all that aside, let me get down to what's good. The headset itself is a good headset. The aluminium has not faded, nor there has been any dents. It's perfect. The headband here, this cushion, is very comfortable on your head. It's super comfortable. It's self-adjusting. Just put it on, it adjusts your head. That leads down to plastic caps and the plastic surrounds here, which do not rattle with the haptics or the music that you play, no matter at what volume. And that leads to very basic controls. You got a mic mute on your left ear cup. You've got the game chat balance scroll wheel. You got a power button, a micro USB connector, and a 3.5mm headphone jack connector. On the right ear cup houses the 2.4 GHz wireless dongle and also the volume control knob. A pretty simple and clean design. It looks bulky, it looks big, but there's a reason for it. It houses 50mm drivers with low felt haptics in each ear cup. Cushions are indented with super cooling gel inside of it, which has hidden channels for people who wear glasses. So that's the added comfort right there. The gel inside works wonders. Even right now in an enclosed room with just a ceiling fan on, and even when my PS4 runs and heats up in the room, even with all that, when you put it on, you can game for about 4 to 5 hours comfortably. Basically, that's how long I've ever used this headset continuously. So you could game longer, subject to the battery life. The 50mm drivers in here are standard. They're not high-res audio compatible. They just have the standard 20 Hz to 20 kHz range with 32 ohms of impedance, which transitions me into how they sound. There have been a lot of people complaining in the official video that it made sound muddy, that it's Razer, they do shit products. I do not know about the cheaper Razer headsets and stuff, but I know that this headset sounds wonderful. With or without the haptics, the audio is clean, it's balanced, you're able to hear where your enemies are, subject positioning are top-notch, sound effects are produced brilliantly, bass is very smooth, you got punchy mids and beautiful highs. None of the channels get mixed up. Music listening experience on this headset, beautiful. Movies, wonderful, with or without haptics. You've got plenty of adjustments in the EQ setting in the Razer Synapse 3 software. So you can adjust your EQ the way you like it. I usually leave it in a V, and that gives me a pleasant, balanced sound. There's multiple presets that you can select from as well. You can adjust the bass boost on this and also the voice clarity. Usually I just leave the voice clarity at about 50%. Bass boost, do not go overboard with it. I usually leave it about 25 to 35% because increasing the bass boost a bit too much, the whole EQ becomes occluded and everything becomes a little bit muddy and nothing is too distinct. THX processing on this headset is just a little bit of a gimmick. Now, THX is owned by Razer. Razer just purchased them, so that's why you got a THX processing there for next gen surround. Don't believe all that things. It doesn't work. Putting THX on with surround sound muddles the audio. It seems like you're sitting in some kind of cave and audio is like so far away, supposedly to give you a surround sound effect, but it doesn't work. This is a stereo headphone. Leave it on stereo because it sounds the best on stereo. Remember that whatever I'm telling you is all based on the PS4 sound. This headset generally sounds better with the PC because you got extra processing which you can set it on the software, which you do not get it on the PS4. But on the PS4, it sounds fine. I've gamed games like Arkham Knight, I've got Spider-Man, Last Guardian, Star Wars Fallen Order. Now I'm waiting on Star Wars Battlefront. Then I've gamed games like God of War and Battlefield 1. Beautiful games. This headset works wonderful in all of those games. Not even one game that I find this headset lacking. Now I recorded a clip of Battlefield 4 playing and I just put my Zoom H1 recorder in between them. For those of you who do not know what that is, this is the recorder that I'm talking about. I just put it in between the headset and I recorded the gameplay. This is by no means in any way scientifically accurate. It was a random test that I did, and I did not record it in a sound isolated room and such. It's just in a normal room, just with normal conditions. So I'm going to let you have a listen. I'm going to shut up now, listen to the audio, and let me know what you think after the clip ends. And if you can hear where the stereo effects are coming from and so forth, listen to it, let me know. Enjoy. haptics in headsets. Haptics, I believe, is going to be the next gen for gaming. That's why in the new PS5 that has just been announced, the controller comes with haptic and not vibration feedback. What's the difference in haptics? What are haptics? Haptics is defined as the use of technology that stimulates the senses of touch and motion, especially to reproduce in remote operation or computer simulation the sensations that would be felt by user interacting directly with the physical objects. Now, that just means that you're going to get subpar levels of vibration feedback through the rumbles of the low felt vibration motor that simulates what you're looking at and what you're hearing. All this while, we've been getting vibration feedback through our controllers. Now, this is just standard vibration control that has been pre-programmed by the game engineers for you to get a feel of what's going on. So this basically augments your visuals. It doesn't really augment your audio. You see something, you see them exploding, you see them driving on terrain, and then you get a vibration, a rumble in your hand. It's basically just rumble. Now, what haptic is going to simulate is how strong that rumble is or how weak. Maybe a big explosion will give you a stronger feedback, a smaller explosion, a smaller feedback. It all depends. So that's the beauty of haptics, and that's what you get in this. The louder the audio, the more powerful the feedback is. And it doesn't make any sound. I mean, the vibration motors are so beautifully tuned. You do not get any vibration motor sound from it. It's so perfectly silent. Low felt, superb. They're engineered by Low Felt and they deliver the best. They're based in Berlin, a startup company. You can go check them out. They're seriously very good. Sometimes you're watching YouTube videos, for example, if your voice becomes a bit too bassy and bass heavy, then the haptics may kick in. That is where it gets a little bit disconnected and a little bit confusing. And there's also been complaints like when you play games like Overwatch, where there's so much intense effects and voices and people talking, it's going to be a little bit overwhelming because the haptics are going to be rumbling forever. So if you're playing games like that, just be aware. But if you're like me, mostly on the console, playing alone, campaign, it's going to be fine. This headset works the best when it comes to games like war games, battlefield games. I really love it when you play games like that because you're able to feel the tank rumbling, the explosion, the gunshots. When you're watching movies like Transformers, you get to hear them transform, roll out. Then you listen to music, Numa Numa by Dan Balin, very nice. It's perfectly balanced. When you increase the volume, nothing gets distorted. That's the beauty of this headset. The haptics is going to augment what you hear, what you listen, what you're watching. So that is one thing wonderful about this headset. If you like that experience and you want to experience that, and if you have the budget for this headset, I would suggest that you get this. It's a pretty good headset, subject to all the limitations, of course. This is primarily a PC gaming headset, and secondary a PS4, and third, everything else. So just be mindful of that. Now, battery life is rated by Razer at 20 hours for haptics and Chroma off. Haptics and Chroma on about 8 hours. With my personal experience for about 11 months, I'm getting about 7 to 7.5 hours, depends on the games that you play. If you play games that have very, very heavy sound effects like bombs and games like Battlefield 1 or Last Guardian, games that require a lot of bass and haptics, now it's going to run down in about 7 hours. If you play open world games like Witcher or GTA or Arkham Knight, which is more story driven that takes some time, it's going to last you about 7.5 hours to about 8 hours. It's pretty much accurate. Chroma lighting, on the other hand, you've got about 4 options of it, and this only works when it's connected to PC as well. When it's able to communicate with the Razer Synapse software. You get audio meter. The lighting is going to be jumping based on the audio that you're listening to. Then you've got the breathing effect, spectrum cycling, and static, which is this. You've got 16.8 million options of colors to choose from, which you can set it. Those of you who own Razer products, you know how Razer Chroma works. Those of you who don't, well, you can basically customize the colors that you want to appear on this headset. But I personally do not care for it. There's one very, very good use for this light. It's due to the fact that whenever a 3.5mm cable is connected to this and when you switch on and off the headset, you do not get any clue on whether this headset is on or off. So sometimes you can just leave it on, chuck it in the box, next day you open it and it's dead. This headset is supposed to turn off after 15 minutes in inactivity states, but sadly it still sometimes remains on, and I've caught it about 4 to 5 times in this 11 months where I'll pick it up and it'll be dead. Whenever you see this light on, you know the headset is on. Switch it off, you know the headset is off. So at least you can use these lights for that purpose. Alright, so now this video has gone on for quite long enough. In my personal opinion, I really do love this headset, even with all its shortcomings. because it's really good. If you don't want to keep charging this for every 8 hours, you can just plug a pliant USB cable which could just run down your shoulder into a power bank, and you can just run this for a long time. If I had the choice to buy this again, I would buy this again over any other headset which does not have haptics. This is no audiophile headset, but it sounds good, it's balanced, haptics are wonderful. I would recommend this. If you plan to buy a new headset, consider thinking about this. And for a final note, let me just remind you, this haptics may not be for everybody. If you think that with haptics on you're going to get a headache, please don't spend your money on this. Yes, you can switch your haptics off, but then again, if you're spending money for a haptic headset, why do that? There's a cheaper version of the Razer Nari. If you like this design, you can just go with the Razer Naris. Do not buy the Ultimate. Let me know what you think about this headset down in the comments below. Maybe I've not covered something about this, and you can let me know down in the comments below. Till I see you in the next one, do take care of yourself, stay safe. Wish you all good health, and till I see you in the next one. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.